Can you hear me? Let me do it again. By the way, I did put a screw in my chair, so it's no longer squeaking. Folks, I want to come on real quick because we uncovered a good clue today. Ever watch Scooby-Doo? Jinkies. Remember? She would say that. The one with the glasses. I think it was Velma. Oh, Velma. Jinkies. We got another clue, folks. I got a couple clues, actually. I got an interesting text message. I don't know if it was accidental, but it is eye-opening. Very strange. What a coincidence, folks. I'll go into the text messages in a bit, but look what we found. The Yonkers Newswire, is it Zehi and Frankie Jarris? Frankie Jarris is son of Zehi Jarris, the guy convicted for political corruption, extortion, and blackmailing. Spent 4 years in federal prison. Also got the majority leader at the time, Sandy Anabi, caught up in bribery charges. She spent 2 years in jail as a result, in a case that is very similar to the Tasha Diaz flip-flop on the housing ordinance. Frankie Jarris is currently at NYU attending law school. But is he doing a lot more than studying for his law degree? The Yonkers Newswire, as we all know, is Brian Harrod. But as we're finding out, it's also Frankie Jarris. The Newswire is one of the most disgusting quote-unquote news outlets on Facebook. They do nothing but post and report on individuals here in the city of Yonkers in disgusting ways. And anything that's news, they just copy and paste, right? The site is pretty much set up to attack individuals who oppose any candidate that is being funded by Zehi Jarris, candidates like Tasha Diaz, candidates like Lakeisha Collins Bellamy, individuals like John Rubo. So when I have been speaking about these individuals, I have been attacked by the Yonkers Newswire. This goes back before that video. They've accused me of child porn. They've accused me of having an affair with Lauren Cater. They've accused me of having a baby with her. They've accused me of attacking Latino leaders or putting up a billboard to do so. They accused my wife of sending me child pornography using her work computer, in which they then hacked into. And so all the while, I only could blame Brian Harrod. But now we're learning that our suspicions were right. Zehi Jarris is behind the Newswire. We also believe he's behind the Tribune. But this is confirmation that Frank Jarris is behind the Yonkers Newswire and is most likely the one behind a lot of those negative posts about people. And I said this. I said, why would Zehi involve his son this way? He's got such a bright future. But Zehi's an individual that is all about self-preservation. He doesn't care about anyone but himself ultimately, and he may even be considered a narcissist. That's just my opinion. And so as a narcissist, he doesn't mind throwing his son under the bus, because ultimately that's what he has done here. He's thrown his son under the bus. And so Frank Jarris, you will be hearing from my attorney now. Thank you. Thank you to the team, to the people out there now uncovering this stuff. We're exposing everybody. And some of the things that you wrote on there, Frank, horrible. Things about my wife and myself, London Reyes and his wife, Carolyn Elizabeth Marie, William Ward, Maeve Scott, Joan Gronowski, anyone that's opposed this current administration and has opposed the term extension, anyone that has made comments and has been critical of majority leader and the city council president, this page has attacked in the most disgusting ways. Frankie Jarris even insinuating some individuals, women, were alcoholics and drunks. And this is what's happening here in the city of Yonkers and what individuals who are connected to our elected officials are doing. Terrorizing people, insulting people, ruining reputations. ruining businesses, all for the sake of remaining in power. I once put a video up, maybe about a year ago now, of a meeting that Nick Spano, Frank Jarris, and Zahi Jarris were having at Paxos. What were the three of them talking about? And so I posted that on Facebook. So I'm going to get the video again, and I'm going to show it to you guys. This is what they do. And you've been caught, Frankie. Steve Squig, you've been caught. And I think I even know who Vinny Spano, the fake page he's been using. It's a lot happening, folks. There's things that I cannot mention. I wish I could. It's very exciting, but I cannot mention. Hopefully soon, sooner than later, we shall be hearing about it, and you all should know what I'm talking about. And I really look forward to it. So Frank Jarris, you're caught. You're caught, buddy. And so now we have other puppets, people that are coming after me. All of a sudden, John Rivera, another one who runs the Yonkers Newsbreaker page, has been doing a lot of posting today. I did reach out to you, John. We've been talking lately, and I'm not sure why you're making posts about me rather than contacting me directly. I did reach out and ask him if he was okay, if he had any issues with me. We can talk. And by the way, I was very friendly. I make sure that I don't say anything that they can misconstrue and say that it's a threat. So I was very polite. I didn't get a response. I called, I left a message, and I sent him text. I didn't get a response. And he responds normally to text messages. And I was wondering, why was John all of a sudden going after me and attacking me when he made himself out to be a friend? And I saw this. This is the stuff I can't make up. So how much they paying you, John? John Verrett doesn't even live in Yonkers. But this guy wants to cause problems in Yonkers because he wants to be in on it. He's a journalist. Yeah, he's a journalist. Oh, sorry, John. I didn't mean to put your number there. I didn't realize that. Actually, is that John? Yeah, John, I didn't mean to put your number there. But I wanted to, actually, I think your number's already out there, isn't it, John? Don't you have it on your page? I wanted to show you some of the text messages from John because, everything was kosher. And all of a sudden today, it's not. Don't be two-faced, John. And make sure you're on the right side, John, because when the lawsuits come out, you're not going to be spared. And don't talk to me about the First Amendment. Remember, maybe last week you were just asking me about another amendment because you didn't understand it. And now you're trying to school me. I don't think so, buddy. Today I received an interesting text message. Was it on purpose or was it on accident? Folks, you cannot make this stuff up. I truly am living my movie, ain't I? I'm living in a movie. I get a message from this number that I did not recognize. It says, yo. I say, yo, what's going on? Because I didn't get a response right away. He goes, what's up? What do you mean? You okay? I say, who is this? He responds, oh shit, I texted you by accident. I was texting Frankie Vazquez. I say, oh yeah? You know Frankie? Then he responds, Erwin. What is going on here in the city of Yonkers? Is this the Twilight Zone? Is the Matrix all screwed up now? Frankie Vazquez is my uncle. He is the man that was supposed to come pick up the check that day at my office before it was a daycare center, but instead he sent his girlfriend, who appeared to be under the influence of a substance that we know now to be heroin, because that is a problem he's been dealing with, which is why I didn't want him working for me anymore. Unfortunately, my ex-partner wasn't as smart as I was. And so he brought him back on, and he owed him money. So he sent his girlfriend to come pick it up. I didn't have the check on time. Wasn't ready fast enough. So she attacked me along with her sister. A third individual broke my window, had a big long stick, which I showed you guys, and attempted to come into the place in which I started to yell, "Get the gun," because I didn't want that person coming in and attacking my wife and my 2 kids. But now this video has surfaced. And now they're using it to make me look bad. They're saying that I attacked a parent at my daycare center. Well, the video came from Frankie's girlfriend, who had it because someone that she came with was recording after they broke the window. So how does this individual know Frankie? What a coincidence. He says, "Oh, I was texting Frankie Vazquez, my uncle," but then he says, "Erwin," when I say, "Do you know Frankie?" "Erwin is my cousin, aka Erwin Spano." Real name is Erwin Vazquez. He's the only one that was at the meeting on Tuesday night, or the city council meeting, with the 4 more years shirt on. The one that actually went out and spent money to make shirts that said 4 more years, because he and his wife work for the city. And as he told me himself, the Spanos looked out for him during the pandemic when he lost his job. So they're taking care of him now. They provide for him. So he has no loyalty to family. That's his family. They take care of him. They pay his bills. And so he reached out, I'm sure, to Frankie. They might have used this guy to do it because they want to cover their tracks. Erwin doesn't want to call Frankie directly. That'll be in his phone records. His best friend, Vinny Spano, doesn't want to do it. Best friend, aka best man. "You're my cousin, but I guess I haven't been taking care of you and paying your bills, Erwin, have I now?" I just thought that was strange, but he says he's looking for Erwin, another relative of mine. So I go, "Erwin, this Erwin?" I was confused who it was. He says, "No, I was trying to text Erwin. You just told me you were trying to text Frankie Vazquez. Now you're trying to text Erwin?" He goes, "I texted you by accident. Have you spoken to Frankie? I'm curious." Now he says, "Who's Frankie? You're confusing me, bro." "No, bro, you confuse me, bro. You said you were texting Frankie Vazquez." That's what I respond to him. I'm in blue. "Who is this?" "I was trying to text Erwin Vazquez." "I texted you by Indy." And he meant to say by accident. "I texted you by accident." "Okay, but who are you?" "It's Allah. Allah neighbor." "Oh, okay. You were confusing me for a second." "I'm confusing you? You texted me out the blue, and you told me you were texting, or you were trying to text Frankie Vazquez, my uncle, the guy that I suspect is involved with the release of this video. But instead you tell me you were trying to text Erwin, my cousin, who is cousins with Frankie Vazquez, who is best friends with Vinny Spano, who in my research and information plays a key role." So I go, "Frankie and Erwin are cousins." He goes, "Oh, I never met Frankie." I go, "I thought you knew him because you mentioned him." "Yes, it just made sense. And then I go, he goes, "Yeah, it just made sense." Okay, now he's getting it. I go, "Yeah." I go, "Erwin is my cousin." He goes, "Yeah, that's how I met you. You didn't meet me through Erwin." I'm going to tell you how I know Allah. And I wrote, "Frankie is my uncle." He says, "We're speaking," and then he goes, "We're speaking one time, and I mentioned growing up on Morris, where Erwin's family lived. My, part of the family lived over there on Morris before the building was condemned and stolen from them, right? And then Erwin at one point went to live with the Spanos, so that's why, he's so close with them. Him and Vinny were good friends, or still are good friends." So I go, and then he goes, "And you asked if I knew Erwin, but you said that's how I met you." I go, "You know my cousin Erwin?" "Yeah, that's how I met you." "But then you just said that one time you asked me if I knew Erwin." "Well, did we meet before I asked you, or did Erwin introduce us?" Then I put, "You and Erwin are cool?" What made you say Frankie Vazquez? That's a strange coincidence because I have been thinking about Frankie lately. I have. He writes, Erwin is like an uncle to me. Oh, really? My phone changed Freddy to Frankie. Oh, really? I never met Frankie. Weird coincidence. Then I go, you know, Frankie may have had something to do with the release of that video blasted on Facebook, to which he goes, what video? And I also put, I'm also hearing Erwin. And that's it. I didn't put the rest. I didn't want to. So why is my number in your phone? Allah? How did my number get in your phone? And how did it change it on its own to Frankie? Folks, again, I'm not the smartest man in the world. I know I'm not, but I always get 4 when I add 2 plus 2. And now I'm assuming or guessing or giving a good opinion that this guy was involved. Maybe they used him to communicate with my Uncle Frankie, because I wouldn't suspect Allah neighbor, right? I wouldn't say, hey, check that guy Allah's phone records out. See if he's been communicating with Frankie. But now I am. Allah is not the most, trustworthy guy. He's about self-preservation. So how do I know this guy? Well, once upon a time, he reached out to me. He had information to give me. This was last year. He works for the park department. He wanted to tell me about the cover up there with the COVID and how people were getting COVID and spreading it. And other information. But we never met. The last time I saw him actually, or seen him in person, or maybe the one time I seen him in person, was the day that we had the meeting at Yonkers, the Yonkers City Council meeting, the first one when they introduced the legislation. I was walking and he stopped me to ask me for a lighter. And that's when I said, oh, who are you? He said, I'm Allah. I said, oh, okay, you're Allah neighbor. That just happened. Allah, I know you were upset because they weren't promoting you. They were keeping you like on seasonal or something. Or maybe now you're not seasonal because I hear you worked against the caters. But what was promised to you for this? I just think it's strange. Could be all just a coincidence. But you initially told me you were texting Frankie Vazquez. How did that go to Erwin Vazquez? And how did my name end up in my phone number end up in your phone? And how did your phone change it to Frankie? Too many mistakes, guys. Too many mistakes. And I got them all. And this is just some of what I got. Because I already know how it went down. I didn't know how they communicated with Frankie, but now I know. And we're looking for Frankie. I want to ask him who was it that's contacted him, reaching out to the girl also. A lot of people are going to get hit with a lawsuit. I'm still adding names. And I'm not going to stop until everyone feels my wrath legally. And I must make sure I stress that, legally. Because you all worked and colluded to destroy my reputation, my wife's reputation, and my business. And you did it all because you wanted me to stop basement politics. You utilize your minions to do so, but they're not that smart, and they made mistakes. And so now, Allah, I got to include you too, see what's going on with you. Strange. But I am a nice guy. I'm generous, and I'm always up to talking. So if you want to come and reach me, reach out to me and come clean. There's always room for me to be, lenient, There you go. Yes, absolutely. Vinny needs to be in jail and the rest of the city hall and YPD. You know, I don't want to say anymore. He wasn't tough when he was working on Liam's campaign. A judge is his aunt, and he is engaged or married by now to the Spano patriarch Guma, Miss Gail Burns, who was or still is on the YPS board. You know what that means? Guma, is that her name? Gail's niece. Well, Allah wanted to give me some information at one point. Now you're giving information about me, I guess. Listen, I don't care. When it comes to my family, when it comes to my wife and my kids and my money, it's nothing I'm not going to do. It's nothing I'm not going to do. I won't stop until I get my justice. I'm not going to be deterred or scared away. That video, it's not going to deter me and stop me. It's bullshit. You know it. And all you little news guys who want to continue to spread the nonsense, it's cool. I'm trying to help you little guys. Because you guys don't want to have to spend money on an attorney, do you? So chill out. Back off. Don't speak of me. Don't mention me. I don't mention you. You're insignificant to me. You're not a part of this. Don't involve yourself. You have no idea what you're talking about. And so I'm tired of it already. I'm tired of the knuckleheads coming out of the woodwork to all of a sudden start posting stuff. You got my number. Give me a call. Don't call me when you want to be nice and you want something. Call me when you got an issue too. You know, because you're not just affecting me. If you want to come after me, cool. But you're affecting my wife, a woman. Be a man. She didn't do nothing to you. Guma is an Italian name for mistress. Now I learned. But yeah, folks, that's what's happening here in the city of Yonkers. I'm going to be on tonight. I just wanted to put that out there. Because, you know, little by little, the house of cards is starting to come down. The cracks are starting to, you know, be seen, I guess. And it's going to all come out, be exposed. Thank you, my brother. Yeah, now I'm definitely going to stay strong, and I'm not going to come out and do what they want me to do. They want me to be aggressive. They want me to go after, you know, somebody like John Rivera. You know who that guy is. He does one of these news pages. He calls himself a journalist. You know, I don't know what he does. He doesn't live in Yonkers. You know, he's just all over the place, right? And so they wanted a guy like that, right? A little guy like that to antagonize me, so then I can get so upset that I could then do something to him, right? And then they're going to call the cops. That's what they're going to do. And then they're going to go on their little page and they're going to say, oh, look what Freddy Vazquez did to me, right? But this is, they're friends. You know, he's getting paid just like the other guy. And I'm not going to mention his name because he reached out to somebody and said he don't want no smoke. So I'm going to leave it at that. I appreciate you not wanting no smoke. So I'm going to leave you out. I just had to send a general warning. But John Rivera here, Frankie's boy, obviously, they're in contact with each other, right? They communicate. You sell out. You're a sellout, right? But he wants to be all cool with me when I have my issue with Ruros because he has his issue with Ruros, so he wants somebody on his side there, right? And then he wants to talk all this crap. Lorraine Lopez, look, it's the same people. It's the same group of individuals. Lorraine Lopez, I'm famous now for speaking the truth. That's why people love me so much. Also, you're famous now. You speak about Freddy Vazquez, so it gives you attention. See you in court, buddy, and you can't blame that someone hacked your account this time. God bless you too, and hopefully God shows you the truth because I'm done talking. Yet he's still talking today, right? So, folks, ignore these people because they're the tools. Ignore individuals, you know, the Yonkers Newswire, the Breaker, or whatever they call themselves. They are tools. They don't even know what they're doing. This is what's sad. They have no clue what they've been doing. You know, it's, how do I say it? I don't want to say it without being mean, you know, how do I say it? You know, they're easily exploited, right? They're easily exploited. I mean, you know, they just are not, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And so that, you know, they make them easy to use and to do stupid things that's going to get themselves in some problems. And they don't even realize it because they don't fully understand it. They don't have a real grasp of the reality of things. You understand what I'm saying? If I can be any more clear. With you, they weaponize CPS. With me, they weaponize the Dutchess County Family Court. People need to believe us when we tell them that the Spanos know no limits or boundaries. Yes, and that is why I ain't talking about it, right? It's not, about bachinche or gossip. It's about trying to show people and connect the dots. That even though this little guy is insignificant, right? John Rivera, and he has no real nothing, but his page has a certain amount of followers. So when he is manipulated and exploited into doing things like this, he pumps that message out to a lot of people, and that's what they want, right? So then that creates a narrative about individuals that's not true. And he thinks it's true because he doesn't know any better. He doesn't know any better. He doesn't have the capabilities of knowing any better. And so that's why they use him. Right. So they are vile human beings. I speak of the political Spanos, not their many hardworking, apolitical relatives. And, glad you made that clear. But yes, they weaponize CPS. They have control of the police. They have, individuals that work in agencies like OCFS or the Child Care Council of Westchester. And they utilize all of that as weapons against any individual that opposes them. And they've been doing it for a very long time. And they've used news pages, Yonkers Voice, Yonkers Newswire, Yonkers Tribune, and this guy John's whatever page he has. They've used these guys, all of them, to attack anyone who's opposed the administration. Nobody wants to deal with it. And then when anyone that's willing to deal with it and say, listen, I'm going to go fight back. What do they end up doing? Getting into a fight with these knuckleheads. And that's what they want. People to be in this, ongoing, this battle back and forth with these knuckleheads that got nothing to lose, that ain't got nothing else to do with their lives. They ain't got nothing going on with their lives. And so they can do that. And they have nothing to lose. They have not one thing to really lose, these guys. They have nothing. And so they'll go on there and they'll defame people. They'll put out lies. And they'll get themselves in trouble. And the guys that are at the top that are pulling the strings, they go on and they find the next puppets, the next knuckleheads to do this. So, folks, I'm Freddy Vazquez. I'll be on a little later. Don't worry, about what these people are putting out there on me. Let John know. John, you are part of the Zahi Jerris team. You got caught. Frankie Jerris, you're outed now as the Yonkers Newswire administrator as well. Thank you so much. Thank you to the people that continue to provide the information. A la neighbor. Come on, dude. You know what that was about. You made a mistake. Frankie Vazquez. What do you know about Frankie Vazquez? And Irwin. You guys colluding? Irwin, you colluding too? Were you mad? You mad? You mad because I told you that they call you Irwin Spano? That's what they call you. Your own friends. They got you in their phone as Irwin Spano. They make fun of you, not me. I'm telling you about it. You should appreciate that. Jeez. I don't get no kind of appreciation out here. No one's grateful these days. What time you coming up today? I'm trying to be on by 8 o'clock. Let's talk more about the Spano years. Let's discuss it. Let's see how he did in his first term, right? We saw him, at the debate when he was running for mayor before he actually won and became mayor. You saw what he had to say there. He wanted to go through the budget from top to bottom, cut wasteful spending. He wanted to get rid of the cars that he felt was unnecessary spending. Did he do any of that? What was his first 4 years like? Join me tonight. I'm Freddy Vazquez. Oh, here comes Jake Espinosa. The defendant is a political commentator who hosts a politically themed podcast, Basement Politics. And with Freddy statement, that means that he's full of shit. Yeah. It's interesting that I see that you pop up today, Jake. It's very interesting. Jake, let me ask you, was it you that made the call? Did you make that phone call, Jake? Do you know what I'm talking about? That's all I'm going to say. Yes or no? Say yes or no if you made that call, Jake. Did you call that? Did you make that call today? Because I'm confused that you would make that call. I don't think you would do that. Did you make that call, Jake? Yes or no? Jake Espinosa. I'm waiting. I'm going to give you a couple minutes for you to respond. Did you or did you not make that phone call today? I mean, I don't know. You left your name as Jake Espinoza, so I'm wondering if it was really you. or, or is somebody trying to set you up. Folks, I'm out of here. My attorney's calling me right now. Give me 1 second. 1 second. I'm Freddy Vazquez, Basement Politics. Jake Espinoza, I want to know, did you make that phone call? We'll talk to my attorney right now about it. Have a great night.